Welcome back to Strong. I'm so excited to bring another incredible guest. Today we are meeting with Shahra, who's based here in the United Arab Emirates, and we'll be talking about all things life, exciting opportunities that she has really enjoyed through her life and some of the challenges that she's had to overcome. Hi, Shahra. It's so great to have you here.
Oh, hi. It's lovely too. It's an honor to be here, actually.
The honor is all mine. I am so excited. I think your story is incredibly inspiring. Definitely a story that many young people need to hear because you've come from strength to strength in your life and you've done so in such an honorable way that I can't wait to be sharing it. So let's start right at the beginning. How does a 25-year-old find her way onto this show?
Okay, so that's all started when, of course, we all have a turning point in our life, right? So my turning point was when my dad left us, when he passed away. So I was the oldest in my family. So I had to take care of them and somehow. So I felt like I was the dad of the family right now. So I had that mentality and I lost my dad when I was pretty young. So I never had a childhood, like a proper childhood. So I thought I had to take care of them. So that's where it started. I guess I started my life pretty young. When I was 15 years old, I started working, and that's how as a 25-year-old now I'm a lecturer. So not a lot of people believe that. I like, are you joking around? So like, nope, I'm serious. I'm a lecturer and I'm 25 years old and I'm proud of it. So I believe it was a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice to bring where I am right now today.
Okay, let's dive a little bit deeper. Take us backwards to the time when you were in your early teens. What was that like for you? And did you ever think that you would be a lecturer at 25?
No, to be really honest, no, I didn't think. My only main goal was to actually get into a job and, start working so I can help my two younger brothers. I have two younger brothers which I had to take care of. So my only goal was to literally study well, not slack off, and get a good job and take care of them. That was my main goal. But I know where I wanted to go. I really liked computer science. So I thought, like, I'll get a job over there and get it. But somehow they say, your hard work pays off. So when I was in my university, I just focused more on my studies and to get good grades and, just excel. And that's what I did. And the opportunity just came my way. And during my last year of my final year in my undergraduate, the dean of the university just came up to me and said, like, hey, what do you think about teaching? And I'm like, never thought of it, but I could give it a try. So, like, what could I lose, right? So I'm like, yeah, let's give it a try. And then I started as a teaching assistant. And then I was like, hey, this is something I would love doing. And I never turned back. And I guess I was born to teach. I love teaching. And they say just came to your way and just grasp whatever opportunity comes your way. And that's what I did. And I'm so happy and I don't have any regrets.
So, an undergraduate, for anyone watching this, that's a bachelor's degree. How did the dean know that you had this potential in you? Was there anything that you were doing as an undergrad student that made you stand out?
Yeah. So the thing was, I participate in everything that comes in my way, debates, or if there was an election, I said, and also because of my education degree, what is it, the GPA, it's an Australian university, so it goes directly to Australia. And I was awarded the Vice Chancellor's Award, which only 2% of the entire university gets awarded. And that was a surprise for me too, because I never worked for it. I just worked to graduate, and that came my way. And of course, when it comes, the entire university knows, and the lecturer came to know. And one thing I would love to say to people is that never say no. They say no, but never say no for something that comes your way. Just grasp it, and you have nothing to lose. You learn something if you don't get there. If you get there, you get experience. So that's something I have learned throughout my undergraduate. Never say no. If they come and ask you, hey, do you want to go up there and talk about something? Yes, I would love to do so. And hey, do you want to do this? Yes, I would love to do so. I learned something out of it. Yes, I was a person who hated talking in front of people. I used to have a lot of anxiety when they asked me to go up the stairs, but now I'm a lecturer. I teach in front of 30 students. So it's like a a good twist and turn. I don't know how I came up here, but I would just say it's because of like something like I would never say no to something. I'm like, let me try. Like I learned something out of it. I'm going to get something out of it. So that's how I am here, I believe. If I said no, and I don't think I would be sitting in front of you and having this conversation with you.
So I work with the youth, and one of the concerns that they have is, am I smart enough? Will I do enough? How did you know that you were doing enough? I know that you said you were just focusing on graduating. That was your goal. I just want to graduate. I want to be able to provide and help my younger two siblings. But how did you know that it was enough? Was it that you always did everything that came your way? Was that how you defined enough, or did you have a role model that was guiding you along the way?
I would love to say that I knew what was enough, but nope, I didn't know. So the thing was, I believe that have a goal and work towards it, and the things will come your way. So if you don't have a goal and you're like, okay, fine, you know what, I'll just do it for the sake of doing it. No, have passion in what you do. And I don't believe I was smart or I am smart or I'm a genius. Okay. It was just that, I worked towards what I wanted and have passion while doing it. Love what you do. Love what you said. I do have a lot of friends who just do it. You're like, you know what? I just need a degree. My parents are forcing me to do it. I just need a degree to run my dad's business. So if you do that, you're not learning anything out of it. And you don't know what's enough. You don't know what you want for yourself. So have a set goal, know what you're going to do, and then grasp everything that comes that way. Just don't divert yourself. Just jump into what your goal is. So I know what my goal was. So I know what I had to do for that goal. And everything that came was an extra. It's a bonus for me. So it was just a bonus which I had to grasp. So I never know what was enough. And I don't think any one of us know what's enough and what's not enough. It's just that, you just go with the flow and have a passion and love for what you do. That's something that I would love to say to anyone. Just love what you do and have interest. So that's how I knew.
Very confident, enthusiastic. You seem to be very happy. Were you always this way? Is this who you have always been?
The people do say that I have a lot of positive energy. So, but being very honest, I do have. I don't mind saying it. I do have depressions. I do have anxieties. I do go through a lot. I'm a human after all. Sometimes I feel like I'm enough. Like it's enough. I can't take it anymore. There are those days, but I would always tell there is no other Shahra in this world. Make sure you show off that. So when I do take a day off, I do sit alone. I think a lot and I overthink. I'm a person who overthinks. So when I do that, I'm like, you know what? When you're sad, why do you have to possess it on others? Why do you have to be sad in front of others? Just be happy. Be the reason that someone is happy. So when I'm sad or when I'm low, I take myself off and I don't talk to people so that I don't deviate that energy to you. So I always tend to make myself happy and smile. And at the same time, when I'm alone, it's not, people say that you're faking. It's not faking. It's trying to take yourself up and pick yourself up and be strong in front of people. Be strong because you don't have to know that I'm sad. Like when I'm happy, I just saw you smile when I smile. So that's the smile is contagious. Just make smile. Like you don't have to be sad. If I'm sad, it shows on my face, and you'll also be like, okay, why is she sad? So I am. If you say that I'm always happy, that's not right way to say. Yes, I do have my lows. I just don't tend to show it to people. And when I feel low, when I'm at the very lowest mind, I just say myself, like, there is no other Shahara in this world. This world needs you. You can make some change, like, a little bit of change at least. So pick yourself up and, walk towards wherever you're going. Just don't stop. Take a break. We all need a break. Take a break, but don't stop. Just keep moving.
I really appreciate that you're bringing us this perspective of how we self-care, how we can refuel, but at the same time being really aware and very conscious of what we're projecting onto others. When I thought about creating this platform and when I thought about the purpose behind why I felt it was important that we should be sharing stories, I remember looking inward and thinking, I'm projecting to my daughters, my son, my friends, the students that I take care of, this image of an incredibly strong person who is not only the idea of strong, but resilient and seems to always get it right. And this was one of the comments I heard from a friend many years ago when I was going through a challenge was, wow, you look like you had all your stuff together. And in reflecting on this, I thought, I wonder if this is what we're doing that needs to be done different. In that, I agree with you that, the world doesn't need to see me falling apart for it to be striving and gaining strength. But young people look up to people like you. You're in front of a classroom of undergraduate students looking up at a 25-year-old lecturer. You are booming energy and positivity and strength. And people will look up to role models like yourself and myself and other role models and think, how can I emulate what they have? Because they make it look so easy. So when we're thinking about, we don't need to be projecting this, I sometimes wonder maybe this is where we're doing it and it needs to be done differently. And not that by showing you that I'm sad, that is going to be contagious on you, but actually it's going to show the human side of me. What do you think about being more open on those days when you're not what we see today?
Yeah, I have thought, and that is where we have to be very cautious because not everyone cared, right? So you need to be sure of who do you show to. Yes, you're right when you say that there's 30 students in front of me who want to, project what I feel. I that's what I show so that they say that okay, no matter whatever she goes through, she has the tendency to bounce back and come. And I tell to my students. So my students be like, Miss, I can't do this project. I am so stressed. I'm like, listen, you can do it. Just get up. And it's not about that I have to show my sadness to help them. Is that, I can just keep on like, what are you doing right now? Like, this platform, that's enough. Like, I'm not sad. You're not sad. Whoever comes across this video will be like, okay, you know what? Whatever Maria is saying, whatever Shahra is saying, that's something I relate to. So I can also, go ahead and follow her path, not necessarily, but, like if we relate, I can deal the same way like she's dealt with or he dealt with. So I don't think that we have to show that our sadness, but we can show our weaknesses. Sometimes say that, what, this gives me headache, or what, this is stressing me off, and naturally it comes out. We are humans. Like, though I tell you that I completely compose myself and I don't want to show it, there are certain times that when I'm with my friends it just comes out. And I believe you shouldn't be ashamed of it. I'm not trying to say that you have to be ashamed of being sad or having anxiety or depression. No, that's not what I'm saying. Be proud of whatever you are. It's just that as humans we differ. Like, some people like to share it, and I'm a human who feel like, if I'm sad, you will feel like I'm expecting something from you. Like, you will be like, oh my god, now I have to comfort her. Oh my god, now I have to take her out to places to make her feel better. This is just me. This, I feel like I don't want to feel like a burden on you. That's a lot of people who feel. And I try to change that because some of my friends did say, listen, that's not what we feel. Like, I just want to know that you're fine. I'm like, I am fine. And if I'm not, I will come and tell you, but mostly I don't. And like you said, maybe there's where I'm going wrong. I'm still learning. And again, I'm not saying that you have to be ashamed of being sad or being low. What I'm saying is that even if you are, just make sure that you come back, you bounce back. Don't just sit there, and choose your people wisely. If you're close to your mom, speak to your mom. If you're close to your dad, have that one person. I do have that one person that I run to when I'm sad or low, though most of the time I like being alone. I do run to that person. So make sure you have that, at least that one person in front of you that knows that there's not going to be any judgment, that whatever you say, they're going to take in and they're going to help you. So I would just say that choose wisely because you never know. That's where I went wrong, I believe, because when I was young, I used to go tell everything to a lot of people. I used to have a lot of people and go tell. But when as I grow up, I'm like, one, they don't care. Two, it's like, you're just showing off everything of yourself. Just two things. Don't be ashamed and have your right people with you. That's it.
I love be ashamed and have your right people. I like to call those people our tribe. The people that we know have our back, and we also. It's not taking; it's also collaborating and giving as well. You describe yourself as hyperactive and full of energy and talkative. How, take us down some of those stories that help you define yourself in that way.
Because if I'm in a group, like, if it's 2 seconds silence, I can't take it. I'll just keep on talking. And this is not me telling. I do have a lot of friends say that, when you come into a room, it's like it's vibrant. It's like everyone just needs to smile. We can't just be without smiling. The same goes to my class as well. I shouldn't say this, that they say like, Miss, you're the only class that I attend without missing. Because it's not only teaching. I tend to make sure I make it collaborative, because whatever I didn't get when I was in high school, because where they're strict, I tend to give it to my students. It's not always about being strict or being very moody. Make sure you give that happiness. Be talkative. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little over talkative, but that's okay. So, I keep talking. I even 2 days ago or something, when I went out, my friends were like, you know what? When you're around, it's like, there cannot be any sadness inside. There cannot be any negative energy. And I guess I take that as a compliment. So yeah, so I got a lot of in trouble when I was in school because I cannot shut my mouth in the classes. I keep on talking. And the teacher go like, listen, can you be quiet? Like, so that I can teach. I'm like, yes, miss, sorry. And now it backfires to me, right? Because when I'm teaching, I get my students who talk and I'm like, okay, please stop talking so I can take my class. So life is a boomerang. It comes around. So yeah. And to be really honest, I have toned down a lot. I would say it's because of the society. They say like, you know what, just keep down. Don't always keep talk a lot. Don't vibrant. You need to know where to talk and where not to talk. And that's actually true. You need to know where to talk and where not to talk, where to be serious, where to be funky or funny. And there's something that I'm still learning, to know the difference between way to be serious, way to not talk a lot. And I guess I have improved, and I hope I keep improving.
Like to be a 25-year-old lecturer in a university environment where most lecturers would be almost twice your age?
It was difficult at the very beginning. I used to feel so like nervous or have inferior complexity. I'm like, oh my god, what if they think she's acting like as if she knows everything and so on. But I guess I was blessed with the university that I'm with right now, where everyone is open-minded. They understand, what, this generation, something is much more advanced that we came from, and so on. So I guess that way I am blessed to have a company like that. But I would be lying if I say no, I was confident. But no, the very beginning, this is my fifth year of teaching. The first year of teaching, I was like so nervous. You have no idea. That day, I even had a mental breakdown at home. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm not gonna go into the class. But then I am so proud that I actually took myself up and I went and I taught, because if I didn't do, I guess I would be regretting that right now. So I am blessed of the workplace that I am. Plus, it's how you take it. Like, I tend to cut off all the negative energy that comes in, and like, you know what, it's okay, it's fine. I'll do what I'm doing until unless I don't hurt others. I'm doing fine. So that's the mentality I have. So I guess that's fine.
What do you aspire to do as you keep going on your life journey?
What inspires me is that the smile on people's faces, especially my family, they're proud of me. And I'm like, you know what? Yeah. And plus, even my workplace where I work and I get something, I'm a person who's a sucker for appreciation. You tell me that I'm doing good, I'll do twice as good. So so that's the thing. So my inspiration is that people smiling. I love when someone smiles because of me. It gives me it makes my entire day. So if a student comes up to me and say, miss, I did this work because of you, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'll make sure the 10th student does that. Like, so that's my inspiration. Like, people smile, especially my mom, my two brothers. And yeah, that's what I say that keeps me going.
I know that you aspired to complete your PhD and to buy a house and care for your family. Tell us more about.
Yeah, to be really honest, I come from a family who's not well educated. I guess I was the first one to finish my master's, if I'm not wrong, from my both the family side. So you say they say that when you see something, you become greedy of it. I guess I'm greedy of education. And that's something I am so proudly could say, because there are bad greediness and good greediness. I guess my greediness is to educate myself and educate people around me. And buying the house is because it's we have nothing back in our country. So if one fine day that if my mom or my brother has to go back, you don't know where they have to go. So it's just the buying the house is to give them a permanent house, like a place to be in. So one fine day, if I have to go away, they're safe and secure. And PhD is because I'm teaching as a lecturer. You need to have and keep on researching. And I like studying. So that way it's like hand in hand. So yeah, that's how it is.
First started the interview, you started by saying that your father passed and you became like the father because you're the eldest.
Yeah.
You're still 25. What is that? How does that look like for you? What does that feel like? The responsibility, the pressure, and
Oh,
also being a young 25-year-old.
Uh, I would be lying if I say no, it's easy peasy. No, it wasn't. I didn't have most of my childhood, like how my friends were having, or nor I had the fun. I wouldn't say that it's because my mom forced me not to. No, she never said. She always was like, you know what, you are a kid, you're a child, go do whatever the kid is, does. But it's again the turning point. I guess this was my turning point. I said, you know what, if I divert and become a rebel, I have three other lives that's going to be dangling as well. So I took the responsibility. It was really, really difficult. Like I said, there are days that I feel like, you know what, I don't want to do this. I don't want to think anymore. I want my brain to stop thinking. As a 25-year-old, I have a lot to think of: my house, my car, my rent. There are so many things. But I guess throughout this year, I have become more composed. I know what I'm doing. As 15 or 16 year old, I'm not going to be like lying and say that I always loved doing this. I'm like, why can't I be like my other friends? Why can't I have a carefree life, with no responsibility? uh, but now I'm thinking, if I was like them, I would have been like among one of them. Like, but now I'm sitting in front of you and having this conversation is because I chose that path of being more responsible, taking care of my family. And if I could go back to my teen and say, listen, 5 years down the lane, you're going to be like this, sitting in front of Mary and giving this interview, be more, I guess I would have done a little more than what I did. So it was difficult, but I'm proud of whatever I did so far.
If your brothers were here, how would they describe you?
If my brothers, they're notorious. And so actually, they are very proud of me, and sometimes they also feel bad for me. Like they say, "Listen, it's okay. You don't have to do this much, and you don't have to do." But they are really, really, and that's another thing. As I said, I love appreciation. So when they come and say that, you know what, I'm proud of whatever you're doing, and when they say that, I want to do more for them. So I guess now they all are matured enough to understand and to come up to me and say that, you know what, sister, like I'm a person who shows stuff. So if I get them, I'll get them a phone or a watch or something. My youngest one comes up to me and say, listen, I don't want any of this. Okay. I'll finish my graduation and I'll get you stuff. So stop getting me. So coming to that point, I guess I have done right. Because if your brothers can come up to you and say, you don't have to give me things, or you don't have to do to me anymore, you have done enough, which means they have realized. So they know what their sister went through to keep them where they are right now. So I guess I have did my job right, and I'll keep doing in the same way. So these are some of the nudges that comes to your head saying that, hey, you're doing it right. Imagine they become a rebel and they say like, yeah, get me all your salary. I'm just gonna just go buy another car for myself. This way, you know what? Though you have your education, though you gave them all the money or whatever they want, you have not raised them well. That you have not given them what it is. Right now, I'm like, they know that we were struggling. They know that we came from nothing. So that way, I guess I have, and I should give a lot of the credit to my mom as well, because she also gives them the nudges saying, hey, your sister's struggling, okay? Just make sure you go easy on her. So yeah, that way again, I'm blessed to have a family like that. Because if I didn't have a little bit of support from them, I don't think I'll be sitting here.
Listening to you, and I'm consciously reminding myself, you're 25. You're describing your siblings as your children. You're
Yeah.
describing their upbringing as how you've raised them. You're not 25. Your soul just comes across as so much wiser. I'm imagining that your mom, whenever she sees you in a room, must just feel this great sense of love and pride. And talk to us about, you just mentioned that, I need to mention my mom here, and she acknowledges and reminds my brothers, but how did you become you? What was it like for, when I think as a parent, I'm listening to you and I'm saying, wow, how do children become like Shahra? Is it something that a parent does, or is it just in their nature? The spark is always in a child, and parents really don't have an impact on their becoming who they are. Would you
Um,
say you are
I
who you are today because of how they raised you, or is this just you?
It's both. I guess it's a mixture of both, because I don't think I was always like this. I was a little brat until my dad was there. So it's a little, it is inside you. It's something changes, when something happens, something inside you changes forever. And again, it's my mom's upbringing as well, because she never forced anything on me. She never said, you have to do this, you have to do that. She always gave me the option. Listen, this is what it is. This is your consequences if you do this. Choose yours. It's all your life. You're choosing it. I don't have anything to do. I'm not going to be here around for a long. You're choosing, you're, paving your path. So make sure you pave it properly. So that as well. And again, like I said, my mom always trusted. I believe it's about trust and respect. My mom always trusted and respected my choices. And I don't talk to her a lot nowadays, but when I used to sit and talk to her, she always said, I trust you, make this decision, but if you fail, make sure you own up to the failure. Never say that I'm done, I'm stopping, I don't want to. I did have a lot of failures. It's not always flowers on, colorful. I did have. So she always said, she gave me the freedom to do so. She always was like, when you do it, just do it good. If you know you're gonna do it good, and if you're gonna fail, own up to it. And I believe that's what I want a lot of parents out there to do, is trust your children. Give them the freedom, like, to make choices. And if they fail, make sure you're there behind them to give them a little bit of support, but don't be like, hey, it was your choice, just do whatever you want to do. So that's something. And also, I also believe that it should come within the children as well. Like, it's I started feeling that because I feel like, wait, my mom trusts me and I shouldn't let her down. So it should come within. And I believe everyone will have that one point in their life that changes their life. Some people take it in a negative manner and fall in the other side, and some take it in a good and goes to the other side. And I guess there's where a lot of people go wrong. Like, there's where that a lot of people don't know how to choose. And I believe whoever is watching this video, make sure, like, gets the jazz and say that, hey, let's go to the good side. And that one mistake can change your entire life. And I hope that a lot of people have the mentality and the mental strength to choose the right side.
It's been such a pleasure talking with you today. I am I'm enormously humbled by your presence and who you are. And anyone watching this, I want you to hone in on what Shahra said about we came from nothing. That's how you described it. And I am here today because of my experiences, but it's also in that pinnacle time when your life tested you, you chose to be optimistic and to thrive and grow and support your family. And I think with that alone, that it really is the secret to living your life on purpose and remembering that you have the option. We always have the option of being optimistic or giving up and just feeling really deep and dark and within ourselves. Thank you, Shahra. It's been such a pleasure. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Oh, yes, I did. It's such a pleasure and honor actually to have here and share my story over here. I hope if I at least help one person out there, we have achieved our goal. So I'm so honored to be here. And thank you so much for having me.
And that brings us to the end of another incredible conversation. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next week when we bring another incredible guest. Be strong.
Just know you're not alone. I want to tell you.